Well, Delaware's beaches attract millions of tourists each year, and they generate billions of dollars for the first state. That's one of the main reasons why Delaware replenishes its beaches. But at what cost?
Our Sussex County Bureau Chief Madeline Overturf shows us the hidden facts and figures about beach replenishment and what's next as storm season is already underway.
Bethany Beach is wide and clear on a crisp fall day, much wider than it was this time last year. That's because of this, beach replenishment. But the irony is the beach is built up to be broken down.
Delaware's beaches are for the most part eroding and moving landward in a time of rising sea levels. We've built near the coast in many areas, and with eroding beaches, we are replacing the sand to kind of buffer against the impacts of beach erosion on our built environment.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says since Hurricane Sandy, roughly $66 million has been put into projects along the Delaware coast. Last year's project was funded primarily by the federal government, money appropriated by Congress as part of energy and water appropriations. But 35% came from the state, from 1% of the state's 8% tax on hotels. And some taxpayers wonder, when coastal storms bring damage anyway, why pay?
The boardwalk would sustain a little damage, but the cost of replacing the boardwalk compared to $17 million of sand that'll wash away in one storm, it's just not comparable.
Bruce Mears says replenishment's price tag is much higher than repairing any infrastructure damaged by storms, and he claims it has dangerous consequences.
Shore break is created by an extreme drop-off, the smallest way to compact powerful punch. I call it pump and dump. They bring the sand in from offshore, they dump it on the beach, they bulldoze it to the point of where they're supposed to stop, and you get an extreme drop-off. They do not taper.
Mears says the beach replenishment at the Indian River Inlet, seen here from Chopper 16, is a success as the same type of sand was used. And beach replenishment has actually benefited beaches that have never been dredged. Here at Cape Henlopen State Park, Denreck says the beach is wider because of projects in Rehoboth and Dewey.
The northern part of Delaware's Atlantic Ocean coast has a really strong south to north littoral transport of sand. A lot of sand is moving from south to north and eventually to the spit at Cape Henlopen. So sand that is placed in Rehoboth and Dewey has a very pronounced tendency to move north.
And beach replenishment projects in Delaware are only likely to increase, as just this week Senator Carper announced $75 million in federal funding to create a new beach replenishment pilot program.
Rehoboth is next due for replenishment, while some in Bay communities like Broadkill hope to see this seen soon, while others wonder if all the work is worth the results.
I refer to it as a sand castle, and even kids know if they build a sand castle, it'll wash away with the first high tide. Why do we need a $17 million sand castle?
Denreck says codes and construction regulations can minimize storm damage, but only to a certain extent.
So it really is the main line of defense against coastal storms.
How will this summer's replenished beaches hold up? That's something only Mother Nature knows, and we'll have a front row seat for this storm season. Reporting in Sussex County, I'm Madeline Overturf for WBOC News.
Denreck